Welcome to Escape Your Expenses, where we help women gain independence with one-on-one coaching to become financially free. I'm your host, Rachel Koo, a financial coach and founder of Expense Concierge Solution. If you are ready to become financially free, then let's get started. Today, I'm going to share with you about 7 money lessons I wish I knew before age 30. So these are some of the lessons, experiences that I've gained along the way to help me reflect and review, and I hope it would also help you. You know, if you're watching this, you're probably below age 30 and it'll help you in your financial journey as well. So let's do an overview of what are the 7 money lessons. I'll go into each of them in detail later. First one is to segregate your investment funds. Second, start small. Third is to start now. Fourth is to learn from your mistakes. And fifth is to learn from your wins. Sixth is to know your money cycle. And seventh money lesson is to be aware of opportunities out there. So I'm going to go into each of them in detail. I'll explain a little bit about what each of them are along the way. So let's start from the first one. First one is to segregate your investment funds. Well, there's a reason I put this as the first, because it is a huge strategy I wish I had implemented back then when I was much younger. So talking about your investment funds, segregate your investment funds into different financial goals. And with different financial goals, you will have different time frames for them. For example, I still remember when I was younger, before age 30, I think it was in my late 20s that I wanted to own my own apartment. So what I did then, and this is the what not to do example, what I did then was to put aside money in my savings account and then just put money in month after month, week after week, and just leave it there. So back then, I wish I knew this, because once I know this, after I've implemented this strategy in my life subsequently, it allowed me to have such clarity in my financial goals and in the money that I set aside for. So what do you need to do for this? For this, come up with a list of the financial goals that you have. You may have financial goals that you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to plan for retirement, you want to save money for wedding, for example. So for each of these goals, set aside a time frame for yourself. Perhaps buying a house, maybe in 3 to 5 years, you want to get married in 3 years, probably, and then retirement, maybe if you are below 30, maybe 30 plus more years to go before retirement. So once you have those financial goals listed out and you have mapped out the time frame, then you are able to, the amount that you're putting aside on a monthly basis, segregate them, apportion them into each of these financial goals, and then you can put the money into a financial instrument that corresponds to the timeline for each of your investment goal. For example, if you want to buy a house in 3 to 5 years, and you have a sum of money now, and you're also putting money aside every month, put your money for the house into an investment instrument that will give you a return within 3 to 5 years and also fits your investment return criteria as well. So in each of your financial goals, put them into different time frame. And for the house, you can then put the money into investment instruments that, for the next 3 to 5 years. And for example, if it's for retirement, if you have 30 over years more to go, you can put it into some investment instrument that you're comfortable with that gives you a different rate of return over a longer period of time. So let me know if you have any questions about that. So the recommendation here is to segregate your investment funds into different financial goals that helps you to match the investment instruments with the time frame you have for each financial goal. So that's the first money lesson. Second money lesson that I wish I knew before age 30 is to start small. No matter how small you think you can start with at this point in time, start small. Even if it's just $10, $100, start.
One of the reasons for starting small is also, well, apart from putting money aside towards a financial goal, is also to ensure that you create the habit of putting money aside. And the third reason is to also help you to understand yourself better and to come up with a strategy that really works for you. And I can tell you this from working with so many of my clients over the past few years, different strategies work for different people. There isn't a one size fits all. No. So it is then up to you to realize what are some of the strategy that works for you. For some people, it could be about tracking their expenses. They then get to save a little bit more. They know what works for them. And for some other people, it's about creating a budget. For some others, it could be automating the savings. Other people will be like having a spreadsheet, a cash flow projection for the rest of the year. So different strategies for different people. So at this age of your life, give yourself time to understand yourself and to figure out, experiment with the different strategies to explore and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So those are great learnings from the different strategies that you put in place. So start small. No matter how small the amount is, start. So, and that leads us to the next money lesson, which is to start now. Wherever you are at in your journey, financial journey, life journey, start now. I can't emphasize enough the concept of the power of compounding interest. I may do a video next time if there's a demand for it. However, if not, you can just Google compounding interest and understand the concept behind. If you're someone that is very young, before the age of 30, and you're planning for retirement, the power of compounding interest is immensely valuable to you. Knowing this concept is crucial because that will help you to achieve your goal of retirement, of the amount that you're looking for as well. That is important. So that's the third money lesson, which is to start now. Well, if you can go back to yesterday, I would have told you to start yesterday, but you can't. So start now. This is the best time to start your investment journey. Start now. The fourth money lesson is to learn from your mistakes. Why do I say that? It's because in every single one of our experiences, our events in our life, there is always a learning that you can take from every event in your life. You learn what not to do if it's a mistake, and you learn how you react as well, and you understand yourself a little bit better from that. One of my mentors, she said, in life, there is no failure, there is only feedback. So even if you may have encountered a mistake, learn from it, ask yourself, what are you taking away from the mistake so that you do not repeat it the next time? And all these learnings for yourself, it is precious. So that's the fourth money lesson, learn from your mistakes. Fifth money lesson is to learn from your wins. This is the flip side from the previous one, and it's often one that many people neglect. And what do I mean by learning from wins? It means if you have, for example, done very well in a particular investment instrument, for example, investing in stocks, you are absolutely the best at spotting good stocks to buy in, and your portfolio has doubled or tripled. Ask yourself, what specifically did you do that helped you to achieve this? Many of my clients, they were not able to answer these questions until I asked them this question. So the reason for going into that level of depth into knowing what did you do well is so that you can replicate it for your other future investments. And knowing what worked well for you would also help you to understand yourself a little bit better, your investment temperament, how you take investing risk, and how you react when the market falls, or when the price reduces, and any other events in your life. That information would then help you to better calibrate yourself and to better be able to select an investment instrument that would help serve you well in the long run. So learn from your wins. That's the fifth money lesson. The sixth money lesson is to know your money cycle. So what is a money cycle? Money cycle essentially is to be aware of your inflow and outflow of money in your life. I'm broadening it. I mentioned in your life because sometimes there are money that we receive that we neglect. If you are listening to this video, and if you are below the age of 30, I'm guessing that your main income would be from your salary. However, there could be other money that you may have, any returns from investments, you have previously invested, any dividends or anything else. If your parents are still giving you pocket money, that is inflow as well. So what I want to say here is just be aware, know how much money is coming in for you and how much money is going out as an expenses. This is different from tracking your expenses, because when you know your money cycle, how much is coming in and how much is going out, you can know this as a one-time basis and track this. So what I do for myself at this point is I don't track every single cent that I spend on, simply because that's not me. Although I am a fairly detailed person, but I do find it a hassle. So along the years, I found what worked for me is to go into putting my money expenses into categories that make sense to me. For example, I have entertainment money, I have grocery, transportation, fund money, for example, then I allocate a budget according to it. And when I know that I have a budget for each category versus every single dollar that I spend, I have a little bit more flexibility in choosing how I spend my money. I have a little bit more flexibility there. So that also allows me more time and peace of mind to spend my money however I wish to. And that's also because I know me. I know that I wouldn't be worried over or that missing $1.99 that I can't account for in my expenses. I wouldn't, and I'm okay with that. So that's how I function. However, for you, it is perhaps something for you to think about, to notice how you function. You know, there are different strategies for different people. Some people, it works for them to have a budget, to track every single dollar of the expenses. It works for them to have the categories. For some people, it helps them to have a cash flow projection for the rest of the year so that they know how much they are going to spend or earn for the rest of the year, so that there's something to look forward to. That works for them as well. So know your money cycle and know what works for you and what doesn't. So it's also about knowing how much money is coming in and going out and understanding yourself. That's critical. Seventh money lesson is to be aware of opportunities around you, but do not chase after shiny objects. Why do I say that? Be aware of opportunities around you so that you can keep up with what's in the market. If there is a better alternative instrument than what you are doing now, go for it. And if you want to chase after shiny objects, that's fine too. My belief is, and in my experience, I've noticed that if you are one of the first person to invest in a shiny object, then you're probably one of the few who will gain from it. So go ahead with, shiny objects if you are one of the first few. But it's quite ironic, because if you think about it, if it's going to be a shiny object, most people around you would have been talking about it, and then you probably won't be the first few to invest in it. So just keep in mind what's happening out there. And I keep going back to the one about knowing yourself, because when you know your own risk level, you can then ascertain what is that shiny object, whether that shiny object falls into your risk profile and your risk criteria as well. So when you know about yourself, know how you function, know what's the stress level you can take, know how much risk you can stomach, then go for it if that's for you. Otherwise, then stay out of it for your own peace of mind. And again, I want to emphasize that different people have different priorities. For some people, they may value security, protection more than higher returns, which would then come with higher risk. So then it's a matter of evaluating yourself too. So I hope that you've learned something from today. And just to recap, the 7 money lessons to help you, I wish I knew before age 30 as well, is first, to segregate your investment funds. Second, start small. Third is to start now. Fourth is to learn from your mistakes. Fifth is to learn from your wins. 6, know your money cycle. And 7, be aware of opportunities, but do not chase after shiny objects. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any further questions, comments, feedback, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me by email or any of the social media options. I'm here for you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you are ready to become financially independent, please visit expenseconciergesolution.com to book a 15-minute call to learn about our coaching services. Or you can download our free guide, The 5 Critical Steps to Financial Agility. Break free from your worries, achieve security, and become financially free.